What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Daft Previews. In today's video, I'm going to share with you three picks, three value plays, which I know you guys have been curious about. I'm going to take you through it all, and if you can't do a value play, I'll take you through which pick I'm talking about. Now, if that sounds interesting, let's go.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.
Now, I know what you're thinking. What is a value play? Basically, a value play is the same game parlay where I might use alt lines or multiple props for a particular player to try to predict how they're going to play. What that does is it reduces the risk because you're really relying on one player to perform a certain way. There's usually correlation in how players play depending on matchups, and you can also get insane profits if you happen to hit these. So I'll take you through the three value plays today. It does a few things. It reduces the volume. I have read the comments. Some people said there's too many bets. You're betting too much. It's hard to keep up. So reducing the volume, still taking enough time to give you some value. You can take parts of these value plays if you want to and only play the individual lines. I really leave it up to you guys. But I'll take you through three of those suckers today. But before we do that, let's recap the last day. I shared 6 picks in the last video. Yes, a lot of them. We did split it, 3 and 3. My goodness. VIP pretty much split the day as well. 0.27 units profit. Minus 1.2 units profit on the NFL, 0.8 units up on the UFC, 0.7 units up on the NBA, a couple of hooks, a few value plays, cash, almost had a sweep on the UFC, but let's recap it. Firstly, Tyus Jones over 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. We get hooked on 17. What sucks is that he was stuck on 17 for so long. His shot volume, super low. I think I saw a Twitter post about it where that was the lowest shot volume that he's had in his whole career when playing 30 plus minutes. So one of the lowest volumes you're going to see there from Tyus Jones. I didn't hate this bet, but he absolutely killed it in assists. So well done to everyone who just went straight on the assist prop. Jonas Valanciunas over 16.5 points and rebounds. I didn't watch this game. I was just tracking the box score. He finishes only 5 points and 9 rebounds. When I went back to look at it, I saw his 2 from 9 from the field. He shot 22%. Which doesn't make sense when like 90% of your shots are in the paint. They're just layups and dunks, right? Now, how to look back, 39 games he's played this season, Jonas Valanciunas, he's only shot under 25%, 2 different occasions. So 37 out of 39 games up until this one, he had shot better than that percentage. And had he shot better than that percentage, you would have cashed his bet. But what can you do? I also jumped on Jaylen Brown over 24.5 points once KP was ruled out. We get hooked, finished on 24. Jaylen Brown was 9 from 27 in this game. My goodness. He attempted 24 plus shots in only 3 other games this season. In those games, he scored 35, 31, and 44 points. I reckon that's a really tough beat. And then the last loser of the day was Keyshawn George over 1.5 assists. He finishes on 1. I expected a lot of minutes off the bench. He plays 30 minutes. The Washington Wizards only played an 8-man rotation. Out of the 8 players, 6 of them had 2+ assists. The only people not to get them was the guy that I bet on and Corey Kispert. Like, they're bigs, they're forwards, they all managed to get them. I didn't watch that game. Let's just call it a bad bet. It lost, and that sucks. But we did hit a couple of winners, and thankfully, all the winners that I managed to hit in VIP pretty much shared with you guys anyway. Jalen Duren over his points and rebounds. I was sweating a little bit when he was in foul trouble. Duren doing Duren things. Tari Eason over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He absolutely kills it. Blitz that fourth quarter. Buddy Hield over 1.5 assists. He finishes on 2. We also hit a Duren value play, a Tari Eason value play. We hit Jalen Green for 4 3-pointers made. And then we hit the combo between Tari Eason and Jalen Duren. And this is what the combo looked like. So, Duren over rebounds, over points. Eason over points, 5+ rebounds. Buddy Hield, we needed him for 3 assists. He finished with just the 2. Had Buddy Hield got there, would have turned that $75 into big money, but we'll settle with a 210. It's a pretty average day, I would say, overall. But look, that's what it's all about. You go up and down. With VIP, you get a lot of those value plays, so the potential to earn is definitely there. The potential for big wins is there every single day. And today, I'm running a ton of value plays. Well, not really. I'm running the same number of value plays I probably normally would, but I'm really focusing in on them, not so much anything else. But if you're interested in trying out VIP, sign up to Vivid Picks. You'll get a 7-day free trial on VIP. Deposit $5. Send me an email, and I'll get you guys straight in. Once we hit 50 referrals, I'll give away $100 to 3 different people. Use the code DAFT when you sign up. The links for that's in the video description below. But if these aren't available in your area, just send me an email, and I'll do what I can to hook you up so you can all get a chance to experience it. Now, enough about the recap. Let's get into these plays. Let's go. All right, so we're jumping into props madness. You know the way we always do. This is the number one tool you're going to find for NBA player prop betting. If you haven't checked it out, I strongly encourage that you do. The more data this gets, the better it gets. We're almost halfway through the season, and it is fantastic right now. 7-day free trial in the video description below. 25% off if you use the code Daft when you happen to sign up. The first value play I'm going to take you through today is between the Denver Nuggets and the Orlando Magic. We're looking at this man, Paolo Banchero, and must I say, this guy is a specimen. I was watching him defend Jason Tatum the other day, and I was like, Banchero is huge. That boy thick. Got that Karl Malone jeans. But anyway, where was I going with this? I've got a value play on Banchero. But if you were just looking for a straight bet, meaning you didn't want to do the value plays, I would encourage you guys to look into his over and assists. But let's talk about it. Paolo Banchero, what am I taking him for today? Well, there's two props that I'm taking on Banchero. I'm putting those suckers together, getting plus 275 odds for this one. And I'm looking at Banchero under 26.5 points, but over 4.5 assists. Now, let me break each of them down for you, and you'll see why I'm taking them. So firstly, looking at his points prop, he's come back from his injury. He's played 4 games since then, 34 on the Bucks on his return, 20, 22, 21 in the 3 games since. Up against the Denver Nuggets today, who actually present a difficult matchup in terms of scoring the ball. Also, another thing on Banchero, he's projected to play about 30 minutes, so slow in incremental increases in his opportunities and minutes. 30 minutes scheduled for this game against Denver. And he's got a pretty tough matchup. If you just look at how their play types look, free throws, the Nuggets don't allow too many of those. Banchero scoring 20% of his points in the pick and roll. The Denver Nuggets, 5th fewest points allowed in the pick and roll. So that matchup's going to be somewhat difficult for him. Where Denver extremely weak is to spot up. Really, that's where they're giving it all up. And if Banchero is getting doubled and pressed on these pick and rolls, he's going to find that opportunity to dime out. So 26.5, it's a pretty difficult line to hit in 30 minutes. Like, he's going to have to be extremely efficient. Banchero is going to get the volume, which makes this a little bit sweaty. He's taken 20-plus shots in 2 consecutive games. The good thing, if you like, is under, he's only shooting 40% in those games. So if he continues to shoot at that percentage, at that volume, we're probably looking at around 20 to 25 points, I'd say. 26.5, I think, is a little bit too high, especially given the matchup. The Denver Nuggets allowing a ton of points in the paint. They're allowing a ton of threes, and they're allowing a ton of assists. So I do like his under in points, and I'm blending that with his assists. Let's take a look at that. 4 games back, he's had 3, 6, 2, and 4 assists. So if you're just looking at the games where he's come back from injury, Banchero averaging 3.8 assists per game. So looking at the over 4.5 today, I do like that as a straight bet. You're getting that at pretty decent odds as well. Now, Banchero, why do we like it? Well, the first thing I like to do is look at the volume. What's the potentials look like? And looking at his potential assist numbers, we're seeing lows of 8. That's the lowest number of potential assists he's seen. And then highs of 14. It's a nice little range there. If you want to get at least, if you're looking at 5 assists, you'd probably be wanting to see it about 9 to 10 potential assists at minimum. And we're getting pretty much close to that on his average. The other thing I like about this is up against the Denver Nuggets, and it's an extremely easy matchup. The Denver Nuggets allow the most assists allowed in the league. They've done that all season long. Not very good defensively. So Banchero should get a lot of attention, should be able to find them. If you look at the games a little bit closer, what I noticed is that these games where he went under, the Bucks and the Boston Celtics, these are all difficult matchups to get assists in anyway. The Milwaukee Bucks, he played them twice. They allow the 7th fewest assists in the league. He finished with 3 and 2. Versus the Boston Celtics, the 4th fewest assists in the league. He had 14 potentials, which is really high, but finished with only 4 assists. The game he went over is against the Philadelphia 76ers, who allow the 13th most, bad mathematics right there, the 13th most assists, so a really soft matchup in comparison to the games against the Bucks and the Celtics, and he managed to go over 6 assists from 13 potentials. And I think in 30 minutes, he should be able to get 12 to 15 potential assists here against the Denver Nuggets. Given they allow so many, I do like the chances Banchero goes over this assist prop. So if he's diamond up more, I assume he's scoring less. That's why I'm putting those two suckers together. It's plus 275 on Bet365 if you want to put those two together. Banchero under his points prop, but over his assist prop. That's a verse value play that I want to share with y'all. The next one, we're heading into the Milwaukee Bucks versus the 76ers. And I'm betting on Damian Lillard today. I think he has a really strong game. He's been playing pretty well as of late. And what am I looking at here? So if you're looking at a straight bet for Dame and you don't want to run this value play rubbish, then I'd be looking at over in his points prop, over 23.5. I like him to score some points today against the Philadelphia 76ers. But for the value play, I'm taking Dame for 25 points, 5 assists with 3 rebounds. You're getting this for plus 220. So that's a value play on Damian Lillard. Now let's talk about it. Why do I like this? Firstly, if you think about the matchup and who's in and who's out. So for the Philadelphia 76ers, their injury report looks a bit like a murder scene at the moment. They've got no Joel Embiid. Paul George is a game time decision. Gershon Yabusele is out. So we're most likely going to see some Andre Drummond time. And Andre Drummond at the center spot is perfect for Dame to score. Andre Drummond lives for drop coverage, meaning when he runs in that pick and roll, Damian Lillard, Andre Drummond's not going to be up there to meet him. Damian Lillard's going to see some pull-up jumpers all game from above the break. If we just look at Philadelphia and how they defend above the break, they allow the 10th most points above the break this season, which is where Dame scores 51% of his points. If you want to look to see how he's performed in similar types of matchups, you can see it right here. He's over this line in 12 out of 14 games, averaging 24.9. If you want to look at just the 24.5, so we're playing him for 25 points. He's hit that in 11 out of 14 games. So pretty consistent when he sees this type of matchup. Damian Lillard can definitely eat. I do like the opportunity to score some points here. The rebounds and assists, they just come in the flow of the game. It's what Dame does. Pretty consistent hitting those, and we really drive the value up on this play. Another reason I like Damian Lillard here to get some buckets is ever since Chris Middleton moved to the bench, that's one less mouth to feed. Damian Lillard can just put his head down and score. So I do like the matchup here. He also played Philly earlier this season, and in that game, they scored, 30 points against them? Yeah, 30 points at the start of the season, 38 minutes, 6 3-pointers, 9 from 19. So Damian Lillard made it rain. I did consider the 30, but I honestly think he finishes between 25 and 30 points. That's where I project him to finish. I think he goes over the 23.5 for sure, but taking the 25, a little bit of extra profit in my wallet if we hit this. But I am liking Dame to score some points today. So 25 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. And if you're looking for a straight bet, just take his over 23.5 points. And my last one, we're heading to Lakerland. It's the Clippers versus the Lakers. And I'm looking at betting on my old friend LeBron James. Betting on the King today. Not speaking ill on my man because I need him to perform today in order to cash this bet. But let's talk about it. For LeBron James, if you're looking for a straight bet for LeBron, I take his over 22.5 points. I think LeBron puts his head down and he gets some buckets today. The value play here is over his 22.5 points, under 8.5 assists. You'll get this for plus 280. So over in points, under in assists. And I'm talking about each. But firstly, let's just talk about how he's performed against the Clippers. So I was using StatMuse for this, and LeBron James, he's actually achieved this exact line in 5 consecutive games against the Los Angeles Clippers dating back the last few years, since 2022. And in all of those games, he scored more than 22.5 points, and he's had less than 8 assists. So he's pretty much putting his head down, getting some buckets, and he's not diming up as much. I absolutely like the play here for LeBron James. I love it to death. I think this is going to be a banger. Now, LeBron James, not even just LeBron James. If we just look at this whole Lakers roster and their lineup, Anthony Davis, he's got a tough matchup to score some points. The Clippers don't allow nothing in the pick and roll, and they're pretty good in the paint as well. Then you look at Austin Reeves, who's been killing it lately. The Clippers not allowing much in the spot up, limiting points to pick and roll ball handlers, not allowing too much in transition either. So if you look at the top 3 scorers for the Lakers, they all have a somewhat difficult matchup. LeBron James, the most gifted scorer out of the 3 of them. And I think when times get tough, LeBron James is the person I trust the most to get some stats, as crazy as that sounds. But I also like the fact that the Clippers most likely just played LeBron James one-on-one in this one. I don't see them putting too much pressure and double teams on him. They'll stick home. They'll stay home with shooters. They'll make sure AD's not getting easy shit around the rim. And I think they'll let LeBron James go to work. I think they limit his opportunities to get assists, and they force him to score in this game. If you look at his assist prop, that line's at 8.5. It's heavily juiced to the under. So the books think LeBron James doesn't hit 8.5 assists. And if you just look at recent form, he hasn't been hitting it anyway. Finishing on 8 a lot of the time. His potential assist volume, it's been there. But I think in this particular matchup, the Clippers, like I said, I think they stay home. They force LeBron James to score. They're not going to want to give up a ton of threes. And it's as simple as that. I think even if you think about it, Kawhi Leonard, not the defender he once was. Derek Jones Jr. doesn't have the size. Batum, he's younger than LeBron James, but he's old as hell. Coffee, he doesn't have the size there either. LeBron James is going to have a mismatch all night. I just hope he switches on and takes advantage of this mismatch. But I do like LeBron James to get some buckets today. So on LeBron to score some points and not get some assists. Under 8.5 assists, over 22.5 points. You're getting that for plus 280. Go ahead and have a taste of that. And if you want to, you can put all these suckers together, roll them in a doubles combo, and then just see where you land. I'll be putting together something similar for VIP, but Yeah, let me know what you guys think. So pumping the brakes real quick to ask you to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Drop me a comment down below. You can say anything, help this algorithm push it out to more people. I know I'll get a lot of comments around why don't you share value plays more often? Well, for being honest with you, it's a lot more time consuming. I'll tell you that. It's harder to present. And it's also the reason why people buy my VIP because it's very distinct. There's only a few people that I know who bet this way, and we're all insanely profitable on the NBA. So if you're interested in trying out more plays like this, then obviously get into that trial for the VIP or shoot me an email and see what I can do to help you out. But for those of you who aren't interested in the value plays and you just want my insights and my opinions, don't worry. I've got a list of leans that I'm going to take you through, meaning these are plays that I liked. And if I was doing a lot more straight plays today, I'd probably be betting on them. I am running a lot of value plays only, but it doesn't mean that these legs I'm about to share with you are going to lose. So I'll take you through some of these, give you the insights. You make a decision on whether you think it's a good bet or not. And if you do, go ahead and click that button, ride the bet out, and hopefully you green out. So if that sounds interesting, let's do it. Let's deep dive, baby. Let's go. All right, looking at the Spurs and the Heat, the first one I considered betting on today was Victor Wembanyama. Wanted to take his over 2.5 3-pointers made. Minus 130, so the odds aren't fantastic, but not too bad for someone who's hitting at a 66% hit rate over the last 27 games. Up against the Miami Heat today, and you can see similar types of players have gone off. Karl-Anthony Towns, Miles Turner, these are your bitch-type centers. Not really. These are your finesse-type centers, I would say. They've done a lot of amazing work here on the Miami Heat, absolutely scorching them. Now you can see Victor Wembanyama scoring a ton of his points above the break. Miami average at defending that. What Miami do very well is they're going to double swarm Victor Wembanyama if he gets anywhere close to the paint. What we'll find is Victor Wembanyama is going to get some volume. He did it last year when he versed Miami, took a lot of three-pointers. This year, shooting a lot more three-pointers as well. And I think given his skills, volume, and all that type of stuff, I think Victor Wembanyama can hit his three-pointers today. I didn't run this as a value play because I couldn't find anything else that correlated within his stat line. It's like the threes are pretty much he'll take them when he feels like it, and it doesn't correlate to anything else. So Victor Wembanyama, I do like his over 2.5 3-pointers. I don't think that's such a bad look. The other one I'm looking at, Nuggets versus the Magic. Wanted to look at something on Wendell Carter Jr., and his rebounds and assists caught my attention. Now, he hasn't hit that very well. 8 out of 27 games this season, 8.5 as an average, but saw a ton of minutes in that last game against Boston and the game prior to that against Milwaukee. And that's solely because there's no Goga, no Mo Wagner. They're missing a ton of people, right? So Wendell Carter Jr., he's going to see a lot of game time. He's up against Nikola Jokic today, so provided he stays out of foul trouble, Wendell Carter Jr. is going to see 30-plus minutes. Now, when he gets 30-plus minutes, rebounds like an absolute dog. Capable of getting some assists as well. He had 3 assists against Boston in their most recent game, and now he's up against the Denver Nuggets, who allow the most assists in the league. So I think Wendell Carter Jr., these rebounds and assists, that makes a ton of sense. I do like that pick, but nothing for me to really combine it with, but I did like it. That was one that I considered betting on. The next one's in the 76ers versus the Bucks. I was looking at Tyrese Maxey, and Tyrese Maxey just played against the Pacers. I leaned to his over 27.5, but I said I just hate the way he plays and his shot selection. My God, that would have been sweaty. He finished on 28 points, but he's been hitting this line like a madman, going the over consecutive games now. And a large part of that is there's no Joel Embiid. Paul George is also questionable to play, but without Embiid in the lineup, Tyrese Maxey has been killing this line. He also has a pretty good matchup here against the Milwaukee Bucks. So that could definitely cash right there. Being honest with you guys, I was so close to playing this as a value play, and it's an under in his assists, over in his points. His assist numbers without Embiid aren't great. He's only hit the over 6 out of 23 games. The Bucks, 7 few assists allowed. Now, the only reason I didn't play this for Tyrese Maxey is because I wasn't getting great odds for it. On Bet365, where I build a lot of these value plays, the line I have to take is at 28.5. I don't like that at these odds at minus 125. Especially knowing in DraftKings, you can get it 27.5 at minus 120. His assist prop to go under is pretty juiced on 365 as well, minus 145. So when I put those two together, like I was getting worse than plus 200. I think I was getting like plus 180 or something like that. And yeah, I just didn't see the value in that value place. But Tyrese Maxey, if you're looking for straight bet, you can take his points over. If you catch it at 27.5, you can take his assist under if you can still catch that at 6.5. But that's what I was thinking there about Tyrese Maxey. We've got the Nets versus the Thunder, and I wanted to bet on this D'Angelo Russell play, and I wanted to look at his under and his points and assists. Now, he's played, 5 games since joining the Nets? And in those 5 games, he's been good. 22.2 points and assists. The game he went under, he only played 14 minutes because he was injured, and he was pretty productive in that time. So he's been playing great the whole time he's been at Brooklyn, but he's got the worst matchup you can think of up against the OKC. Their perimeter defense, they're a bunch of dogs. Pick and roll, they allow the third fewest points in the pick and roll. Total assists, they allow the third fewest assists in the league. So nightmare matchup there for D'Lo. There's also massive blowout potential, 17-point spread. I think D'Lo and Ben Simmons, the first players you take off the court if there is a blowout. And I did consider the under. Couldn't get a value play happening for it, so I didn't roll the dice on D'Lo, but that's definitely where my mind was going. Outside of that, we've got SGA as a game time decision, so you can't even look at Thunder players right now. And we've got the Wizards versus the Kings, and yeah, I think there's a few players in the Kings here who can explode. Domantas Sabonis should have a good game. He's been playing great over the last 6, whether it be points, whether it be assists. The boards, that's always a little bit scary because he's lined so high, but look, it's high for a reason. This Wizards team giving up a ton of boards, right? So I think Domas, if you want to look at his PRA, I think that's a good chance here against the Wizards. There is a blowout risk though, so you have to factor that in. DeMar DeRozan, he's been shooting the ball like a lot. Like his volume as of late, it's been scary high. He's taken 20 plus shots in 4 out of his last 5 games. Volume is scary high. Everyone on the Kings has a good matchup to score. If he maintains that volume, he's going to cover his points prop with ease. We've also got Malik Monk. His shot volume's gone up. Like Malik Monk, Sabonis, and DeRozan all been playing extremely well. Darren Fox is the one that I'm not saying I'm worried about, but he hasn't necessarily been overachieving as of late. But I get he's been in and out of the lineup with injuries. But Malik Monk, points form, fantastic. Matchup is great as well. His assist props at 6.5. The last couple of games, he's been killing that. One of those games was without Darren Fox. In the last 2 games, he's had 9+ assists. You might want to get risky with it and take Malik Monk for 10 assists, double-double. Who knows? And there's a value play for you. But for this Washington Wizards team, there's nothing I like about it. Nothing I'm going to bet on. So passing on them. We've got the Bulls versus the Blazers. Zach LaVine's a game time decision. And I think DeAndre Ayton and Jeremy Grant are game time decisions as well. So couldn't really pick on the Bulls just yet in this one. I did consider a bet on Zach LaVine though. Won't lie to you guys. His points prop still at 26.5, but he does have a great matchup for his particular play style up against the Portland Trail Blazers. Lonzo Ball's also a game time decision. So if they're missing a few players, Zach LaVine's probably going to get more opportunities and more minutes as well. But if you look at Zach LaVine, he's actually been rebounding and passing like a beast. Look at his rebounds and assist line, 9.5. He's cashed this in 4 straight games, relatively easy as well. And he's got a good matchup here against the Portland Trail Blazers. If I had to bet on Zach LaVine, I'd probably be looking at his rebounds and assists because he's been doing God's work on that. So there's a couple of leans for you. Then the Lakers versus the Clippers. There's a lot of game time decisions for the Clippers right now, so you can't really get any bets down unless you want to bet on Kawhi Leonard. We don't know how many minutes Kawhi Leonard's going to play either, so that makes it all a little, how you going? We've got James Harden, Norm Powell, and Zubac, all game time decisions. And I think even if they're out, the game should still be somewhat close. I don't trust the Lakers to blow out anybody right now. But yeah, nothing on the Clippers side. I spoke about the Lakers and the matchup being somewhat difficult. I'm hoping LeBron just puts his head down and gets me some buckets, my boy. Let's go. But that's all I've got for you tonight, gang. I wish you guys the best of luck. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Peace.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to you live from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.